What does it mean to march off to war? Young, untested, and unaware that the road ahead will carve history into your name or silence your story forever. I'm Chris, and this is History Reminds Us, where we uncover the real stories behind America's most defining moments. Today, we're following the hard fought journey of the 12th South Carolina Infantry Regiment from its birth at Lightwoodknot Springs to its final stand at Appomattox. This is not just a list of battles, this is a story of courage, sacrifice, leadership, and loss. So grab a seat, hit the subscribe button, and let's walk in their footsteps. In the summer of 1861, amidst the sweltering heat near Columbia, South Carolina, the 12th South Carolina Infantry Regiment was born. They trained at Lightwoodknot Springs, where green recruits drilled under the watchful eye of Colonel Richard G. M. Donovan and Lieutenant Colonel Dixon Barnes. Their first orders, coastal defense at Esto Island, but that assignment wouldn't last long. In November, they faced their baptism by fire at Port Royal, South Carolina, testing their resolve under a real combat conditions. In April 1862, the regiment moved to Virginia and joined Brigade General Maxcy Gregg's brigade. But soon change came. Colonel Donovan reassigned, and Dixon Barnes took command. Their trial by fire began at Gaines Mill, where they lost 17 men and saw both Colonel Barnes and Captain Booker wounded. It was only the beginning. At 2nd Manassas, there were hit even harder, 146 casualties out of just 270 effectives. Despite their losses, they fought on into Fraser's Farm, Ox Hill, and then the bloodbath at Antietam. At Sharpsburg, the regiment suffered devastating losses, 20 killed, 82 wounded, and most tragically, Colonel Barnes was mortally wounded. He died 10 days later, and Major W. H. McCorkland stepped up. The brigade fought fiercely at the infamous 40-acre cornfield, resisting the Ninth Corps advance. By September 19th, they were the last infantry brigade to cross the Potomac, covering the Confederate retreat. New leadership emerged. Captain John L. Miller became major, and by February he would be promoted to colonel. Captain Edwin F. Booker and others moved into command roles. Though the regiment missed the Battle of Chancellorsville, they played a vital support role, guarding ordnance trains and escorting 2,000 prisoners to Richmond. Then came Gettysburg. Under Colonel Miller, the 12th South Carolina entered the chaos on July 1st, helping dislodge Union troops from Seminary Ridge and pushing into the town. They lost 135 men in the 3-day battle, a straggling number. Imagine the toll, not just in numbers, but in faces, friendships, and futures. Every name lost was a family shattered. The overland campaign was brutal. At the Wilderness, Colonel Miller was mortally wounded, and Lieutenant Colonel Booker was wounded as well. Major Thomas Clyburn took command. Then came Spotsylvania Court House. At the Bloody Angle, the 12th South Carolina joined McGowan's brigade in one of the most intense hand-to-hand combats of the war. They lost 118 men in that single engagement. Then North Annie, Cold Harbor, and Petersburg they fought on. Colonel Booker was eventually killed at Jones Farm in September, and Lieutenant Colonel T. Frank Clayton assumed command. By early 1865, the war was nearing its end. The regiment saw action at Gravelly Road, Five Forks, and Dinwiddie Courthouse. Their commanding officer, Captain R. M. Keir, was captured, and then on April 9th, 1865, at Appomattox Court House, a once proud regiment, which had seen hundreds of men pass through its ranks, surrendered 10 officers and 149 men under Captain J. C. Bell. The 12th South Carolina Infantry Regiment fought from the shores of South Carolina to the fields of Pennsylvania and back again through the Virginia's brutal campaign trails. They were farmers, merchants, sons, brothers, turned soldiers, leaders, in many cases martyrs. Their sacrifices remind us that history isn't just about dates and battles, it's about people. If this story moved you, please like, comment, and subscribe to History Reminds Us. I'm Chris. Thank you for honoring their memory with me today.